This is a podcast of 98FM's Dublin Talks. Remember, catch the show live Monday to Friday at 10 a.m.
98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
98FM.
Now, back in 2016, almost 2 years ago, I spoke to a lady on this programme in one of the most upsetting interviews I think I've ever done on this programme. This is a lady who has an intellectual disability, and she explained to us at the time about how her life is made an absolute misery by people constantly picking on her, bullying her, shouting at her, calling her names. There's the handicapped bitch, stuff like that. And we hoped at the time that highlighting this might get some morons to think twice. Sadly, nearly 2 years later, she's on the phone again. Because Amy, things haven't got any better. If anything, they've gotten worse.
Yeah.
Take me back to the start of your story for people who may not have heard you on the show 2 years ago. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I have an intellectual disability, and I started going to a training centre, and I contacted your show in 2006 because I done Special Olympics as well. But the reason why I contacted you is because every time I'm out on my own, like, I get abused, I get slagged, I get threatened, I get people making shape with their hands of a gun. It's just got worse. Like, life cannot go on anymore for me. Like, I've tried to do the best that I can in life, and I had to walk out of the training centre because even inside the training centre I was getting bullied, and no one, it just got to a stage where no one was listening, and I felt like that I was just repeating myself after repeating, and I just felt like really lonely down. I was depressed, constantly trying to cut myself. I have depression. I was just in an awful state after. Okay,
so you were in a training centre, and you had hoped to perhaps get work as a carer, but you were told no. Why?
I was told no because of my disability. Insurance wouldn't cover me. With an intellectual disability, no insurance would cover you.
So that's the end of that.
Yeah.
And then when you went to the training centre, and I don't want to be specific about the exact training centre, but when you went to the training centre, you were even being picked on and bullied there.
Yeah, and even coming home on the buses, a few people out of the training centre would slag me, would throw bottles at me. They would try and trip me up because I have a balance problem with my leg. Like, my leg is gone from wear and tear, and there's arthritis in it, and there's nothing no one can do for it, but just do the exercise and all that the physio suggested to give me. Like, even in my local shops, like, there's two lads out at the training centre that lives close to me, and I get an awful abuse off them over at the local shops, like, if I'm on my own.
What age are you, Amy?
30.
You're 30?
Yeah.
And
like, I won't even, like, I don't even socialise now. Like, I don't really go out that much anymore.
So give me an example over the last couple of weeks of the sorts of things that have happened to you that make you not want to go out anymore.
The sort of things would be just the name calling, people making their...
So what sort of names do they call you?
Handicap bitch. There's the retard. Look at her, she's there's something mentally wrong with her. She has a mental health problem. Look at her, the state of her and all. And then I just get, like, they just go...
Make noises at you like that?
Yeah. It's just got worse, like, of people making shapes with the hand of a gun to say that I'm going to be shot.
And tell me what happened on Saturday when you went out to make a snowman.
on Saturday when I went out to make a snowman, I brought the dog out to the front garden and the gate. I didn't realise the gate was open. The dog got out, so I chased after the dog and I called him and he came back to me and I lifted him up and I was saying, "Don't run away, that's bold." And there was a mother out with her grandkids and she turned around and said, "There's the handicapped bitch, look at her, she can't even run after her dog," and then start fucking snowballs at me and all, and telling me to get in, that I'm not welcome to be out on my own road.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
This is it really is. You're from the Clondalkin area, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I was of the understanding that society had a much more tolerant and understanding view of people with disabilities.
No.
I thought we lived in a country where we actually respected people with disabilities, where we
No.
treated them fairly.
No.
And you're saying quite clearly, no.
No. It's not how, like, the things that I've gone through, I told you yourself, the background and all that, but I can't mention that. It's like I've gone through a horrible life since I'm in my teenagers. Like, I've no friends around the area, around my area. All my friends be outside this area.
When I hear, of you being picked on in this way, I think of other people with disabilities that I know myself, and I wonder, do they have to put up with that? Or is this just something that you have to put up with?
I don't know now. I don't know, but I do know there is other disability people out there that does get picked on, and I have seen it myself. For example, I go to an arts club around Dublin. I can't mention that arts club. And there was a chap, he had an intellectual disability as well. He was coming out of the local shops across the road from the club, and there was a gang of teenagers slagging him and tormenting him. And I said to him, "Look, leave him alone. If that was your brother or your uncle or your nephew, would you like it?" And they all started slagging me then.
I'm going to take a very quick commercial break and come back to you in just a moment. And if anybody has any suggestions about what can be done here in order
I've gone to the guards, and the guards just keep saying that it's like that just making name calling and slagging and all, and there's nothing they can do. Like, I've gone down to the county council for the antisocial behaviour because they did target the house a while ago, but that target is stopped now. Like, they've left the house alone since the last time I've been on the show. But I think it was because we went down to the antisocial behaviour.
This really, you sound a lot sadder today than you did 2 years ago when I spoke to you, and I listened to the tape 2 years ago, and you were very sad. You sound even sadder now.
Yeah, I think people with intellectual disability, like, they should be more welcome into their own areas and into their own community without putting up with, like, harassment, name calling, whatever, you know? I really do. It's disgraceful. Like, I like, everyone that I know, they've all said it to me, that you're the only kindest and nicest person that I've ever met in my life. You do anything for anyone out in the community. And I said, yeah, I would. I said, if I seen an injured kid or an injured adult, I'd be the first person to say, no, run over and help them.
I'm even more disturbed to hear that your house has been targeted, windows have been stoned. Is this ongoing? Is this constant?
It's just, no, well, the house has been okay in the last 2 years now. But, like, it's just constant, the name calling, the harassment. Well, for instance, there 2 weeks ago, I was coming home from voluntary work. Like, I do voluntary work most of the time just to get me out of the house and mixing and whatever else. And I was coming home and I was near enough to the area and there was a gang of teenagers with some kind of dog and they set the dog on me and the dog had me by the end of my trousers and only for another lad that I knew ran over and gave the dog a boot. The dog let go. But if he hadn't turned over and helped me, I would have been savaged.
Wow.
I would have been savaged. There was no hope in me because I just froze, like I couldn't move. I just froze and I started screaming to the top of my voice that I could hear. And fair play to that lad that butted in and gave the dog a boot.
And what age are the people who harass you? What age?
They're all in their teens, like I say, up to 20s to 30s, but there is mothers out there that does it as well, that puts up, like they'll have grandkids and they'll send out the grandkids to do it.
Let me read.
Or like the mothers will shout out the window, "You're not welcome to walk this area," or they'll shout out, "Handicap bitch, get into your house."
Let me read a message, Amy, that's just come in. There's a special type of scumbag that does this to girls like that. Same type of people who... that's irrelevant. Same type that go around neighbourhoods being causing this antisocial behaviour. I'm so sad for this girl. And then another one says, this is nothing new. What do you expect from a generation of toe rags that don't even get up for old people on a bus? I'm genuinely, and I said this to you when I talked to you 2 years ago, I'm genuinely taken aback that even the lowest of the lowest scumbags can pick on somebody like you just because you have an intellectual disability. I genuinely am.
Yeah.
And it leaves me speechless. Stay there for a second. Suzanne, you're on 98FM. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, how's it going?
Suzanne, tell me about your sister.
Well, my sister Louise is, she's 40 years of age. She's my Irish twin. There's only 10 months between us. And basically, we've grown up all our lives. We were very kind of isolated when it came to the disability community. Because most people, and it hasn't changed to this day, most people that have IB are picked up in buses from their estates and their homes and shipped off out to schools. So they're not really integrated themselves. So as a family, we would try and have our sister come out and play with us. And then what would happen is then we would get, we would be told she's a Mongol, your sister's a handicapper, you're a handicapper like your sister. And this sort of language...
How long ago was that? How long ago was that?
I mean, this would have been all grown up through her young life. I mean, she was attacked. I mean, she got jumped on. The
reason I ask is today there are a lot more children with disabilities integrated into mainstream schools. And what I think that does, and I know with my own daughter, she had a girl in her class with quite severe disabilities, but the whole class looked after her really well. I think for the kids, it made them have a greater understanding of disabilities and.
Absolutely, it is.
Sorry, my point is that I find it shocking that there are still people in society that would take the piss out of somebody or harass somebody or bully somebody just because they happen to have a disability.
Because you know what it is? I think a lot of it is getting the confusion of lying, right? Because there's a lot of people that, let's say, go to school and you're checked for, let's say, dyslexia and dyspraxia. So then you're all of a sudden have these other types of abilities, as people prefer to say, different types of abilities and not disabilities. So I think the line has been blurred between people that have serious ID compared to somebody, let's say, dyslexia or dyspraxia. And I do think you're right that coming into the schools and integrating people with disabilities is fantastic. But the language, the rhetoric from young people, I still hear the word Mongo. I still hear the word ya handicapper. There's still that attitude that people with, let's say, Down syndrome are super strong and can snap at any time, and at the same time they're so lovely and cuddly there's an ignorance to it. It's not a bad thing, but I just don't think you know until somebody's in your family. And I know people with disabilities are more visual now, but they're still not that integrated. Because I'm on my road and I don't know anybody that has a disability on my road. The only time I see them is I see them getting shipped off in the bus out of the community and back in again. You know, so, I mean, it's now as she's got older, we haven't had to put up with, but like that, as I said, she'd be gone off in the morning, we'd be left sitting in the house. When she'd come home, there'd be nothing left for her in the day. My brother would have to fight, like, because he became a target then. We became targets because if they couldn't attack her, well, then they would come after us. Because she actually did. One time she got jumped on. My sister, she was about 10 years of age, got jumped on. Now she defended herself back. But that mother came up and gave out to us. You know, so, I mean, my mother kind of was flabbergasted. Like, I don't know what to say to you. And she was like,
I have to say...
Keep that animal in. That's what we were told.
Yeah, you don't know, Jamie, or Adrian, sorry, you don't know what to do or what to say. Like, when there's a gang of young fellas or a gang of teenagers or like a gang of girls and a gang of fellas that is slagged you and they have a disability, like, there's no hope of you. Like, there's no hope of you standing up to a gang. If there was one person, I'd say, yeah, I would. But it's not. It's like a group of people that does it. So
again,
because if you say that to them, they just going to turn around and hop on you, and I could be left for dead. You know, you don't know.
Amy, what I'm hearing is a woman who's at the end of her tether.
I really am, Adrian. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I mean, yeah, I go out, I have a carer. I will say I have a carer, and I go out with her. But otherwise, if I don't have her on the days that I depend on my family to bring me out. I depend on other people to meet me halfway. Going to arts clubs, going to voluntary or whatever. Like, even for an instant, Adrian, it got to the stage where I'm even thinking that's something that I really, really love doing, helping out with people in wheelchairs. I'm really thinking of dropping that voluntary.
Well, I would urge you not to, because you need that sort of outside contact. I like I said, I find it disgusting that
Jamie, I do be terrified coming home. It's not going. It's coming home because the dark nights. And like, I have to get my mother or my brother or whoever to meet me halfway.
What would you say if, because this is going to be podcast as well later on, okay? What would you say if one or some of the people who has picked on you happens to be listening right now?
I just say, please stop. Like, it's not nice. They wouldn't like it if it was one of their family members. You know, people with intellectual disability, they're the same as everyone else. Yeah, they might have different abilities, or they might not, like, be able to walk. But they're still the same, like.
Let me read a message that's just come in. It's absolutely disgusting in this day and age for anyone to have to put up with this. If any of these bullies had this happening to their sister or brother, how would they feel? I have a daughter in a wheelchair and I'm dreading when she goes to secondary school in case she gets bullied. It's terrible that I even have to think that way. I hope the bullies are listening to your show and cop on to what they are doing. I thought that 2 years ago and I had hoped. And a lot of people just sympathising with you that you have to put up with this. Stephen, you're ashamed to be Irish listening to this.
Yeah, and I was 2 years ago when I spoke to Amy's last time, Adrian. I can't believe it's got worse. Some people are just despicable, to be honest. I have an autistic son, the same thing. He's about to start mainstream school in September, and I dread for the exact same thing, Adrian. He has a stroke over it.
Sorry,
go on, Amy, yeah.
Sorry, Stephen. In mainstream schools, they do accept them, but it's the special needs school where there's other people higher than their ability, like they'd have a higher ability.
So somebody who would have a lesser disability than you would pick on you because you have a more severe disability?
Yeah.
Good God.
God, that's even worse.
Yeah. That's
so, like I went to a mainstream school. and I found it okay. Like, I did get picked on a bit, but, like, slagging is slagging. You're going to get slagging. Just anywhere you go, you're going to get slagging. Do you know? But that's all it was. A bit of slagging, a bit of, like, banter. Like, we all had banter. In the mainstream schools, I never, ever had a problem. Yeah, I struggled through, but there was extra help that I could get. But, like, with the bullying, no, they didn't accept it. They never, ever, like, any time I can remember that I got bullied in mainstream, and if I reported it, they'd come down heavy.
Amy, has your mother or father gone to these parents?
Yeah, and you're told, oh no, my son has been in here in the house all day.
Yeah,
that's always the way. That's always the way. Amy,
like, my point of view of this agent is, like, people with special needs or different abilities should be given a chance of, no matter what it is, they should. Like, for instance, like, I want to work with people with disability as a carer or even an SNA. I was told, no, I can't, because insurance won't cover me.
Amy, I'm putting out an appeal to people in Clondalkin to be aware of your story, to and if they happen to be the sort of people that have picked on you in the past, to leave you alone. Maybe in the future you can get some photographs or some video to prove who these people are, because they need to be stopped, Amy. And I hope you can keep strong. I can hear that you're not as strong as you were 2 years ago.
No, me confidence even went downhill, Adrian. Me confidence, me self-esteem, the whole lot has gone downhill.
Amy, we're going to talk to you off air after the show today, and we're going to try and get you some help, because you shouldn't have to live this sort of a life where you're terrified to go out because you're terrified to come home. Nobody should have to live that sort of a life. They really shouldn't.
Yeah, like, I don't even socialise at night time. Yeah, I go to one arts club at night, but I have a carer with me.
Yes, no, I understand that. Yes.
If I don't have that carer, I do try and meet up with people.
Okay, let me just bring in one last call, and that's Sharon. You're on 98FM, Sharon. How are you?
Hiya, how's it going? All right?
Thanks, Sharon. What did you want to say?
Just listen to the story there. My son is 12 and he's an intellectual disability, and he goes to a special school, and he gets on a special bus, as they call it, on my road. He goes to Holy Angels in Chapel Liver, and he's doing great. Gets a bit of slagging now and again, but you have to kind of just you do the best for him. He did go to mainstream, but I took him out of mainstream after 2 years, and I put him into the best school for him. But he does get a slagging now and again, and I do go out and argue the point or whatever. But it's just a shame. It's shocking to hear that girl's story. Really shocking.
It really is. And Sean, you're also upset by what you've been hearing.
Hi, Adrian. I'm absolutely appalled. I've been on the show before. I'm a person with disability, and I'm publicly here and now calling on the Minister for Education to roll out disability awareness programs in schools across the country. It is needed for our young people.
As I said a while ago, Sean, I was of the understanding that that children were much more aware of disabilities. As I said, my own daughter was in school, and in their class was a young girl with a very severe disability, and they looked after her like their own brother or sister. It taught my daughter and the rest of her class a great understanding and respect for people with disabilities. But what I'm hearing is that that's clearly not the case across the board.
When I tell people of the situation of public transport, they are appalled. Less people, adults who are a parent with someone with a disability or someone who work with people with disabilities, they don't know what it's like. We are the forgotten community. We are just living, almost private lives. It's almost a case of them and us, and it's very, very evident.
And it certainly sounds that way.
It does,
Sean.
Adrian.
Amy, as I said, we're going to talk to you off air. We're going to talk to local politicians in your area, and we are going to try and get something done to stop you being picked on in this way. My heart goes out to you, love, and I hope that you can stay strong, and we're going to try and get you whatever help we possibly can to stop this happening to you.
Yeah. It's not as bad as what I was, but it's just the point where that even if I get on the bus and someone looks at me, they know that I have a disability and they start laughing or making fun of me.
Yeah, it's just pathetic. It really is.
Say, for instance, if I rang my ma and said, "Ma, I'm on my way home," they go, "Ma, I'm on my way home," like that.
Well, look, Amy, like I said, we'll talk to you after the show.
Like, my point of view is disability or law is still the same, and someone can walk out there today, and get a smack on car, lose any of the power of their legs or arms, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, they have to think of that.
Yep, absolutely. But look, Amy, I'm way out of time. I have to wrap this up, but I appreciate you talking to us again, and we will get in touch with you off air, and we will talk a little bit further.
Yeah,
all right, Amy, thanks very much indeed.
Right,
it's such a sad story, that is. And we will talk to her off air. We'll get our team this afternoon to contact her, and we'll see what we can do in terms of talking to local politicians and get this stopped. This is 98FM's Dublin Talks.
This is a podcast of 98FM's Dublin Talks. Remember, catch the show live Monday to Friday at 10 a.m.
98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
98FM.